Ordering on a low block. Get him some touches. Nobody physically as big as him. Richmond thin down low. This guy has an advantage. Needs to get more touches. Maybe needs to get a razor too, but at least some low touches down low. I like the beard, actually. It's a good look.
Oh, like that move. Needed it as well for his confidence.
Well, you look at the percentages right now. Offensively, Fordham's shooting better than 50% from the field. That is a rarity for them this season. When they can do that, they can hang in any.
Good defense by the Richmond big man. Three on the way, and he gets
a reliable three-point shooter, off the bench. Today, like a lot of the bench players, Xavier just hasn't had his afternoon.
A little bit. Nice slip.
That you'll see in this game here today. Richmond very young. We talked about their struggles. That's
for both these teams with the back and forth pace. Few turnovers in this second half.
And GW is one of the worst in the league. They're 12th in the A-10 in conference play in terms of their turnover rates. They've stepped up.
Jones again, yes!
And Garland are combined 10 for 34. Garland 1 for 7 from behind the arc.
Allen working on right on the baseline. Back out to Taylor for three. You bet!
He has 4. The lead is 14. 3:45 first half from the Robbins Center. Anthony, good shovel pass to Davis. Good shot by Kendall.
VCU with a very large contingent here and very enthusiastic support of their team.
Allen for 4. So they're balanced. They average 75 a game. That's amongst the best in the Atlantic 10. Bodies have doubled the Spiders, 10-5 as we approach 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Terry Allen.
Richmond, you're up by 6. You want to run your offense. Be methodical. Set good picks. Try to get open shots. Whether it's a 2 or 3, make sure it's open. You don't have to create on your own.
Terry Allen looking to create. Dumps down to Joe.
Every single game is the most important game for us. Didn't talk to his team about seeds, but I can tell you from my perspective, they could possibly be the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Here's Stark, step back jump shot, and pure.
Setting. I mean, you've got to hope that the fire marshal isn't around because you can wedge 2,000 people in here, and that's about it. Backdoor cut layup for.
Richmond resets. Allen. Easy, too, and Reddick fell asleep there from Zach.
Pick out high. Spins in. Corner. 3 more. You bet.
A game with a former coach several weeks ago, and he pulled out his wallet because I noticed he was sitting a little on an angle. I said, "Why are you sitting that way?"
Fat pockets. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
44-37. Pull-up jumper. Somebody's feeling it.
Their road red first possession. Nelson Odota back outside. Sparrow. Sparrow shut up.
It just ignited the break.
Richmond has it. Terry Allen with the basketball. That drop.
You got shooters in the corners around the Agumake. They go to their horn set.
Agumake going to drive here and backs it in. How many times we've seen her?
Decision by Taylor in transition. She need to hang on to that because they had numbers.
Here's Samuelson off the Agumake screen.
Give him some opportunity to set his man up a little bit.
Smith Rivera got excellent first half.
So Georgetown still leading. Off to a hot start, 60% from the field of the Hoyas. They shot 52% in their win over Xavier. Pass inside and Lubick with the layup. So
job covering the three-point line against the best three-point shooting team in the league, but they're struggling on the glass. Out front, Allen. When I was that age, Mike.
Lost in all this is really the job that Chris Mooney has done for Richmond. Let's not forget about that as this jumper goes down.
Field. Spiders down just 6. Sparrow. Anthony. Sparrow again. Great move by Wayne Sparrow.
Well, we talk about it beforehand, right, Stan? The media guy listens at 5'8", and we're all like, no. That's very generous.
It is.
For
As
Anthony,
I said, look, I'm 5'8", and I'm taller than he is, and I'm not taller than very many people, especially ones playing basketball.
Here's Nelson Odota for 3.
Game, and they won 80-67. It was in that game that Georgetown also had 42 points in the first half. Markel Starks pulls up with a jumper and hits it.
The thing to watch here is to see how well they can stop Smith Rivera and Starks from getting in the point and also curtail their three-point shooting.
Gardner. He just has a way of being around the ball. I've been on Buzz all year to start him. I think he could score 20 a game.
he started the first time these teams played and led Marquette with 20 in their overtime win. Here is Smith Rivera fighting his way in and getting the basket.
Up.
And this is the tempo that Richmond would like. Richmond's just struggled to score. Richmond normally known as a very good perimeter shooting team. And other than
Jones, the freshman, comes in front court. He's working there with Josh Jones. Allen now with the ball out front. He's had a great game off the bench. Jones curls around, puts up the three, and it's
about his defense causing offense, and right now they have intensity on both ends.
And if Richmond's got an open look, they've missed it. 14
on the other end and knot it back up at 37. Allen on the block. Anthony wide open for 3 more.
Doesn't matter. You should be up early. When you're a kid with Little League, your jersey's out, you're ready to go. It should be that way in college. You only have 4 years.
Down, all of a sudden they start getting a little bit more fluid in their flow. Trey Burke is that guy right now. The game is at a snail's pace for him, and he is just dicing it up.
Well, he has Michigan on a blitz here. Out in front 10-0 at Northwestern in their Big Ten opener. Sobolewski off target. Gets Purdue their second bucket. But not a lot of team basketball from Purdue so far.
And that's what happened, Bob, against Indiana. Everybody thought they were going to go beat their man, and that's not Purdue, other than Ronnie Johnson, doesn't have that kind of quickness.
Ola, sweeping hook across the lane, a little hard
at the half, though, because he had just saw Michigan State and Minnesota is a team that I really like. Tubby Smith, veteran-laden group. They are awfully tough on the glass. They are superb in playing the passing lanes and creating steal opportunities.
Swapshire dumps it down low. Ola, very nice feed.
That was one of the easiest ones he's had so far, too. But that's the hustle and wherewithal, too, of this Michigan Wolverine team. Robinson didn't anticipate that Trey Burke was going to make that shot.
People in Sheehy in their junior year that have played through it, been there, done it. Here you really don't have it. But so that's an opportunity for Ronnie Johnson.
Backdoor cut for her. 10th win of the season. They did lose Drew Crawford, their top player, to a shoulder injury. Sobolewski trying to get by Burke, and he does for 2.
Patient about developing skill development. Right here, that's good offense, but it's a push-off. That's a legitimate foul.
Penn State has not scored for almost 5 full minutes. And here's Sobolewski from downtown. Really come out of it with a good look. Sobolewski, the ball handler right now, playing with 3 fouls. Little backdoor pass, and it rolls home.
Division I level, tremendous prospect out of high school.
2012 Parade Magazine All-America.
A lot of time left. 11 and a half minutes.
But this offense, when you're not turning it over and you're running off 30 seconds at a time, that's been their best friend.
Early in this second half.
Absolutely, because numerically, Northwestern gets their baskets after 28 seconds. Penn State will come down and score within 10, but it's too much time that's run off the clock.
Sobolewski uncontested and gets it to go.
Good shot right there. I mean, I saw him in high school, Danville High School in Indiana. I thought he was going to be kind of a Brad Miller type. Not as good, but shoot the ball, play out on the perimeter a little bit. He's really struggled with his shot.
With Hammond's on the bench now, it's Ola in the post against Carroll. He goes to the jump hook.
Northwestern. So he's trying different combinations, trying to get a little bit more quickness on the floor with Trey Demps coming in, playing off-guard position right now.
Turner, there's the backdoor cut and the finish.
Matt Painter did that. They have to run motion to give guys rubs, give guys angles, but they're not a motion team, and by that I mean they don't have guys that can pop back off the screens either as a screener or the cutter and knock in jump shots, so they struggle offensively because of that.
Shot clock down to 9 for the Wildcats. Sobolewski tries to create some space. Deep jumper is connected. For the Terps so far to Kentucky in their opener. They've got the expected wins over Morehead State, LIU, Lafayette, Georgia Southern. But now a different test on the road against a Big Ten opponent and a team that Bill Carmody, before he came to Northwestern, rarely had wins in the mid-teens as Sobolewski takes a long
to make the transition into the college game.
Well, they are into it and with both feet and helping the Wolverines to a 25-9 start here.
Inside Ola to back in.
Careful defensively, Bob. He has a tendency to stick his hand in the face of the opponents that's shooting. And he's hit 2 guys in the eye tonight already in the first half. The officials will pick up on that sooner rather than later.
Marcatulio.
A rare offensive board for the Wildcats, and they'll set things up again. Mike Turner's acquitted himself pretty well so far here, particularly on the glass in his first career start.
He has to stay involved in the game. What he can't do is pick up those cheap fouls.
Yeah. Backdoor Marcatulio as Aaron Kraft gets his first 2.
Buckeyes back in this game. Why? Defensively, they picked it up in the half-court set, not allowing Northwestern to get those easy looks that they did early in this game.
Here's Sobolewski with a 3 ball. That goes
off of an offensive rebound. Defense is not in position. Step right in rhythm for Aaron Kraft. A much-needed 3 for the Buckeyes.
Offensive rebounds have been a huge part of the story here. Ohio State with 12. .41-41 game. Abrahamson off-balance 3 that goes for Cotton. They've had some good style points, Jimmy. They just haven't had enough points.
Well, they haven't, and they haven't had enough defensive stop. Their defensive principles away from the ball are lacking. That's why you're susceptible if you're Illinois to those backdoor cuts, because you're not communicating and you're not in the proper position ahead of time to anticipate that.
Now Hearn, 3 ball doesn't go.
6'9" in his shoes and a couple of heel lifts. I've been there, done that.
There's Demps around the screen from Torrena. Through the lane, Hearn kicks it out to Sobolewski. Thought about the 3, but not a clean catch there, so they'll kick it back out. Now 10 to shoot. Kraft is so tough. Here's Demps. He's going to have to shoot it. That doesn't go. Fouled out of the game on that play. Did not have a very impressive outing. Did not score in 5 fouls.
Not the kind of stat line you want to see next to your name.
Again, shot clock at 15. Shot clock at 10. Now can they get something going towards the rim? This is what they did so well in the first half. Swapshire.
Offensive board from Ola keeps the possession alive for Northwestern.
See Smith out of the game for Butler. They get much smaller here. Rebounding will be an issue, especially with all the threes that Northwestern's going to take. Long shot, long rebound.
Eric Fromm matching up against a much taller opponent here in Ola. Swapshire will let it go. A little long and out of bounds on Ola.
And he's not just a standstill shooter. He's way more than that. He goes to the line over 5 times a game. I think the thing that he's got to prove on is his strength. After facing up. Good job of Wright again being under control, driving with strength.
He looks great going to the bucket tonight. Now Thornton off early here.
We thought that he was going to be the toughest matchup for William and Mary at the 4. You know, they've got Sheldon size, but not much else.
Pride fans making their trip down from Hempstead, New York. Backing Hofstra right now. Thornton looking to drive through traffic, and he misses. Wanye Green. Best friends growing up. Went to Coach Mihalik at Niagara and then transferred when he came to become the head coach here at Hofstra. As Thornton holds both of their baskets. Dixon looking back for Sheldon, not there. Now Tarpey with a shot clock at 15. Tarpey.
Who has really improved his range. 22% last year from 3, Wes, and up to 36 this year. Big improvement.
This is Sean Sheldon, junior from Traverse City, Michigan, who's a pretty strong post defender. There's Thornton. Omar Pruitt.
Wade Kone and Dion Nesmith, the graduate student, but they get their top 2 players back in Green and Tanksley, so the future looking bright for the Pride as Thornton misses a 3 and Kone.
Tell me where you're most comfortable. Are you most comfortable in the starting lineup or coming off the bench? And he said, look, coach, he said, I'm a grad student. He said, I've done it all. I'm just comfortable doing whatever it is we have to do so we can get the W.
Started his career at Northeastern playing football, and it's a 6-0 run here for Hofstra in the last 1 minute and 11 seconds. Down by 10, now it's only 4.
Said that the 30-second shot clock was not a concern, but we'll see how they adjust here throughout the first half. Here's Daniel Dixon. Tribe like to spot up. Tarpey's first shot, a little short.
Particularly here on the defensive end, because they will have to stay on their toes at this end of the floor for the entire 40 minutes with all the movement from William and Mary.
Inside.
Active on the glass, and that's what he does at that 4 position. He's long and he's athletic.
William and Mary getting a little bit frustrated on the offensive end here. They need a bucket. Sheldon.
They got the close look by Harrison that didn't go, but I love the drive. But that time, post-entry pass, more points in the paint for the Golden Hurricanes.
Omar Pruitt kicks it out. Tarpey drills from 3-point range.
Behind the arc, it is early going at Charleston.
There are a lot of really good young players in this game, and they are just getting a taste of CAA action. And so you're going to see them just grow during the course of this game.
Pruitt turns.
This is the type of basketball at both ends of the floor that Tulsa played when they had a 12-game winning streak earlier in the year. They started conference, remember, 10-0.
Has put some points up on the board, though, but hasn't had a lot of time. Certainly making the most of his minutes here today. Thornton on a step-back jumper from the top. Sheldon had a great first half, 11 points. Tarpey. Pruitt looking for the cutting Sheldon.
Sportsnet, the start of which promises to be an outstanding season of men's basketball in the Colonial Athletic Association.
To start with here, you see all 5 guys out at the 3-point line. The teams are in the 1-and-1 right now. They have to get a solid stop and try to come down and score.
Ford's got 16 points for Northeastern. And Northeastern's in the double bonus for the rest of this game. And now Dixon
was one of the best players. 10 points, 5 rebounds in just 14 minutes against Miami. And he had missed the previous 6 games, so he's kind of getting himself back into some basketball shape after sitting out with an injury.
It'll be interesting to be the way William & Mary spreads the court, if he'll be able to defend in this game.
This Canyon Barry. It's a 14-point advantage for William and Mary.
See how quickly the ball moves and how quickly the people move. When they're really playing good offense, the ball movement and the people movement is very crisp.
This is Malinowski. Pulls up.
If you flip the coin over to William & Mary, they have 2 redshirt freshmen and 2 sophomores. So those 4 kids are in the same class. So there's just a lot of, if you're a fan at home or even me and you sitting here, you got to keep track. Because sometimes you're so used to guys' names. A lot of new names.
Shaver after that good defensive effort.
As you said, the tournament last year, I love the semifinals of the tournament. Those 2 games back-to-back are always great. And then a great championship game last year in Baltimore. Really a nice venue.
Beautiful pass, Sheldon.
Work and worry Wolverine, boy. He is on it. He works, and he's just constantly on guys worrying about doing the right stuff, and then he's tough.
Well, you talk about some great bloodlines. We've got a lot of players whose parents have done a great job. Terry Tarpey's father and mother were all-stars. He was a 10-year pro in France.
And then approach it that way.
Sean Sheldon. And here is Dixon, who had a three. One of 3 out of 12 threes that William & Mary hit in the first half. Terry Tarpey.
Very impressed with him, very active, anticipating the weak side.
And here's Slotman. Thornton in the corner here at the near side, and a foul.
He did a game last year where he almost single-handedly in stretches kept the team in close. The list goes on of these young players that are going to be around for a while. And as we talked about the double round robin in the CAA, these guys will match up a second time, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a lot of times a big shift in point spreads. Believe it or not,
difficult to guard because last year you would invite him to take that shot every time down the floor.
Yep. You and I had a chance to see him early a year ago, and he looked like he might have been turning the corner, but once league play began, he started to struggle again with some of his perimeter play. The Tar Heel lead back to 17.
Yeah, a much more concerted effort these last few possessions to get the ball inside.
Tarpey. With a weave and Malinowski a three.
They really tried to get inside that zone and collapse lanes. There was a great dribble drive by Nate Britt to set that up.
12-point game, 6:07 to play. Tarpey. Dixon a triple. 0.7 rebounds on Saturday in the win over Alabama Birmingham. Backdoor cut and a dunk for Omar Pruitt. Hicks.
Yeah, he knows that a team that can shoot the three like this, a 16-point around the 8-minute mark, you got a TV timeout coming. Get a little extra ball in there.
Sheldon tried to play here in the first half. The Gators really had a magical season. Backdoor cut, laid up and in.